Quite comprehensive. On the same note, Raila Odinga has been a prominent figure in the Kenyan politics for 25 years, captivating the public with his political skills over the years. He has been sought after by 4 Kenyan presidents to help salvage their leadership during challenging times, solidifying his status as a mysterious and influential figure in Kenyan politics. However, his larger-than-life political career is now under threat due to the ongoing Gen Z revolt, which is causing a major upheaval in the Kenya's political landscape. Eunice Mugoa with more details.
For a quarter of century, 4 Kenyan presidents have reached out to Azimio leader Raila Odinga to serve their presidency at their political nadir moments, essentially making him an enigma in Kenyan politics and a political intercessor. This comes as opposition leader and AUC chairperson. Hopefully, Raila Odinga has made a defiant stand, dismissing call for President William Ruto to step down amidst escalating pressure and internal opposition turmoil. But what has been a larger-than-life political life for Raila is on the verge of being extinguished by the ongoing Gen Z revolt that is turning Kenya's political scene upside down. In the past, Raila has played a critical role in turning around the political lives of the late Mzee Daniel Arap Moi and late Mwai Kibaki, Uhuru Kenyatta, and now President William Ruto, who had started roping Raila into his press conferences and meetings. Raila has come in handy to the 4 presidents to steer their ship during turbulent time.
I looked at that and I say that is taking Kenya to Somalia.
For a quarter of a century, Raila has straddled the Kenyan political scene, enchanting the arena with his prowess. Political pundits who write him off after he entered different phases of political life have been forced to swallow their words, leaving them reluctant to delve into the Azimio leaders' politics.
Nataka niwaulize wale watu walishindwa na upinzani, kwa sababu unasikia wengi wao watu ambao, mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi watu wa Kirinyaga, kama mtu ameshindwa kuendesha upinzani, atajua vile ya kupanga mpaka itakuwa serikali kweli? Wale watu walingekuwa wanaendesha upinzani wakitusaidia kama serikali kwa mambo ya oversight na kuchunga mali ya wananchi, wakatoka huko kwa upinzani wakaingia ndani ya serikali, wakakuwa mabroka, wakakuwa makatel, wakakuwa wezi. That is why ile ripoti ya Kemsa haiwezi kutoka, kwa sababu mtu ya kitendawili na watu wake ndio wezi wakubwa, waliiba hata ile Kemsa, hata mask. Jamii,
President Ruto, facing a revolt of Kenya's youths, picked the ODM leader from his continental campaign trail, where he is seeking the AUC chair to help him wriggle out of the political impasse.
Your Excellency, my dear brother, I thank you most sincerely for accepting to support Kenya's candidature for the position of the chairperson of the Africa Union Commission 2025-2028, which has been initiated following comprehensive stakeholder engagement process across government. Kenya's candidature is informed by our leading role in enhancing and sustaining the Pan-African agenda in terms of independence and sovereignty, peace and security, development and prosperity, as well as sustainability and climate action. We hope to work with all as we try to achieve Africa's 2063 agenda.
But Kenya's youngest adults have put the head of state in a political dilemma, pushing him to a wall as they seek more and more accountability.
We don't need a dialogue to post intern doctors. We don't need a dialogue to stop, to arrest the killer cops. We don't need a dialogue to resume the school feeding program. So please stop telling us that you need a dialogue. Yet you need just to act on the policies that you are telling.
The uprising began with calls for the rejection of the Finance Bill 2024, but later snowballed into a revolution fighting against bad governance and corruption in the Kenya Kwanza government. Now, popular known as Gen Z protests have pushed President Ruto to the limits, forcing him to send the finance bill back to the House, have the military police in the streets, and dismiss his 20-month-old cabinet. Yet Gen Z are not satisfied with that and are today pushing him to make more changes in his government.
To the people of Kenya, who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign. I have today decided to dismiss with immediate effect all the cabinet secretaries and Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, of the Cabinet of Kenya.
On Tuesday, youths held more demonstration against the government, increasing the pressure on the head of state. The protests have put Ruto in a precarious political situation, with every move making his situation dicey. Euphorically elected in August 2022, beating a strong government-backed Azimio formation, President Ruto's approval rating have plummeted. He has lately been forced to take the beaten path walked by former President the late Mzee Daniel Arap Moi, the late Mwai Kibaki, and his predecessor Uhuru Kenyatta.
It will be a 6-day forum and will propose the way forward for the country.
A dialogue is the way forward out of the crisis that we're having today in our country.
But in recent days, Raila has found himself under firepower from the youths who have warned the opposition leader that he does not speak for them.
This thing that is there, the other just exploded. So where are we at? We are very hopeful as a country. Kenya has changed forever. Let no one lie to it, hasn't changed. That's where we are at. Kenya landscape has changed and people have reclaimed back their sovereign power. We're in charge right now.
Hours after Raila came out of KICC meeting with President Ruto and some of Kenya Kwanza's top leader, where they agreed a multi-sectoral dialogue aimed at addressing issues raised by Gen Zs, the youth distanced themselves from him.
This is the result of the consultations we've gone through this morning, and we look forward to beginning the forum on Monday next week.
Raila's bid to have dialogue received an immediate backlash, with the youths accusing him of attempting to hijack their movement by siding with their Kenya Kwanza government, which they termed as the oppressors.
The last few days you've seen the old fossils, these very old politicians, trying to steal the struggle from the people. They're trying to own that space. And there's a possibility the next 2 days, Saturday is a Harambee Day, and Burials Day. So tomorrow they're going to be all over with one agenda to center Raila Odinga in this conversation, and we refuse.
Under former presidents, Raila, the son of the Kenya's first vice president Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, has become a pacifying factor when things went political south in their tenures. On 18th March 2002, against the wishes of his family and party members, Raila led a march of KANU led by late President Moi and his NDP, approved by their 6,000 delegates. Battling a waning popularity in the Independence Party, heading to the third multi-party election 2002. After changing Section 2A of the Constitution, Moi brought in Raila's NDP to shower up the chances of KANU to retain decades-long hold on power.
If you are going to dislodge KANU from power, you needed to penetrate it and try to see whether you could destabilize it from inside. And so Raila, having now formed the NDP, first goes for the elections in 1997. So he goes back to the policy and practice that his father had begun, which is cooperating with KANU, and that cooperation eventually.
The march had been preluded by events of the October 14, 1998 political instance, where Raila's NDP used their numbers to thwart a vote of no confidence in Moi by Ugenya's Ford Kenya MP James Orengo.
Matures, it blossoms into a merger, and in February 2002 we are hearing of such a thing as New KANU, with Raila Odinga as Secretary General.
More than 25 years later, President Ruto a week ago approached Raila for a political helping hand and is now on track to incorporate the opposition in a broad-based government, after sources said Raila had yielded to the besieged head of state's request to have the Azimio leader help him stabilize the country.
We have subsequently had consultation.
In a near handshake situation, President Ruto, his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, and the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi posed for a photo with Raila and his Azimio brigade outside KICC in a subtle political pacifying opportunity. Before reaching out to Raila, Ruto had in recent weeks been forced to converse with the youth who had threatened to breach the walls of State House for a dialogue with him.
Thank you very much, Hussein. Thank you very much, Osama. Karibuni, all the men and women, good people who have who requested me to appear on X. Welcome to this conversation. I'm very happy to participate in this interaction. If you follow my X space, formerly Twitter, in 2020, I did say that the conversation was going to change. From that discussion about personalities, from tribes, from positions, that we are going to be discussing opportunities, we are going to be discussing jobs, and we are going to be discussing what is important to each and every one of us. I am very happy. I didn't anticipate then in 2020 that that conversation was going to be on X.
Ruto could have picked the cue from his predecessor Uhuru Kenyatta, who pulled a political masterstroke by climbing down from the political tower of Babel and reaching out to Raila at the nadir of his presidency. Coming at a time where sections of Kenyans had called for a session with maps flying around indicating their wish for the two-state solution on Kenya, the March 9th, 2018 handshake that brought together Uhuru and Raila at the steps of Harambee House radically changed the situation, again pacifying the restless country.
Kukutana kwetu mara ya kwanza haikuwa kitu rahisi. Kila mtu pia, hiyo hofu mlikuwa naye, hata sisi tulikuwa naye pia. Huyu mtu tukikutana naye tutaambiana nini? Tutasema nini?
With the handshake, Uhuru and Raila not only buried the generational deadly rivalry between the Kenyatta and Odinga families, but also brought down the political temperatures in the country.
Na kwa ukweli wakati tulikutana, tulikunywa chai karibu dakika 45, kila mtu anaongea, tunakunywa tu chai. Habari ya nyumbani sawa. Habari ya mama ako tu.
It took 19 hours and it was not easy, as the president will explain to you later.
The Kenyatta versus Odinga antagonism had been birthed by their feuding fathers, the first president Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and his vice president Jaramogi Odinga, in the nascent period of the 1960s post-independence government. But it is the secret meeting at the Sagana State Lounge between controversially re-elected President Mwai Kibaki and Raila that sealed the deal that ended 2007-2008 post-election violence that left over 1,000 Kenyans dead. The move by Kibaki to reach out secretly to Raila, who had claimed victory in the December 2007 presidential election, saved the country from the precipice of political destruction. Whether Raila will survive to be relevant in the wake of Kenya's youngest adults this time is a story historians will be keen to follow. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Mugo Hayunis.